Good Fortune is the directorial debut for stand-up comic Aziz Ansari. Building on the momentum of possibly my favourite development of 2025 cinema, it's a mid-budget comedy with famous comedians with a wide theatrical run. For the uninitiated, Good Fortune follows Gabriel, an angel played by the one and only Keanu Reeves, who swaps the lives of an affluent tech bro and a desperate gig worker. This is exactly the kind of movie Keanu Reeves should be doing right now. The guy is one of the few remaining movie stars audiences recognise by name, and now, after the end of the John Wick series, but not really, he is able to explore a wider variety of roles. The first of these post-Wick performances that I have watched is Gabriel in Good Fortune. The role is perfect for him. It enables him to go back to his goofball comic roots, firmly established by the Bill and Ted duology. Like Ted Logan before him, Gabriel is an empty-minded buffoon who means well, and it is from this that much of the movie's effective comedy arises. The near deadpan sincere approach to lines like
"It seems to have solved most of his problems"
really makes the movie pop. It got the most consistent laughs in my screening. There's also a lot of heart to Gabriel. Like I mentioned before, he means well, but has a penchant for screwing up. It's in the scenes where he is self-aware of these traits that Keanu gets to shine, not diluting the comedic potential with a dour tone, but instead illuminating the two simultaneously in order to play on the audience's emotion. Everyone loves Keanu, and this movie is no different. If anything, you may like his boundless positivity in this picture more. Good Fortune is an ensemble film, with writer-director Aziz Ansari, Seth Rogen, Keke Palmer, and Sandra Oh filling out the rest of the cast. For the most part, I think it's a strong ensemble for a comedy. Rogen is a proven legend in the genre, and many of the great scenes of this movie require him to be opposite Keanu, making him the straight man to the clearly bizarre of Gabriel's character. Especially recently, Rogen seems to excel as this straight man archetype in comedies with larger-than-life characters, which make him, even when he tilts towards the absurd, not appear to be doing so, like in The Studio. His role as Jeff the tech bro may not be so likeable or relatable as Matt Remick, but the script does enough to orient the viewer to his side post-life swap. O is a standout. It may be the fact that I haven't really seen her in a comedic role, but as Martha she is superb. She is Gabriel's foil. Like Gabriel, she is deadpan, but lacks his airheadedness. Thus, when compounded upon by the fact that much of the outright fantastical comedic beats involve her with Gabriel, Martha was easily my favourite performance from the film, who wasn't Keanu. Then, my issues with the cast come from Keke Palmer and Aziz Ansari. My problem with Keke Palmer is the sheer lack of her in the movie, and she's not used particularly well. Her character, Elena, is delegated to romantic partner for Ansari's Arj, who has almost all of the thematic exposition scenes where she essentially says the theme of the movie, big corporations are bad. There isn't even much comedy with the character. Palmer is one of the best comic actors right now. Watch One of Them Days or her more dramatic turn in Nope, one of my favourite films of all time. She is funny, almost effortlessly so seeing a waste of her talent was kind of disheartening. I don't think I like Aziz Ansari as a stand-up comic or an actor. His delivery just doesn't do it for me. He's unnecessarily loud in many scenes in a kind of grating way, which drags the movie down to a snail's pace. I think as a writer, he isn't all that bad. The concept is really novel, but making himself the protagonist doesn't work. Arj is just kind of annoying most of the time. I'm supposed to empathise with him, but the performance doesn't really aid in having that effect. I won't go so far as to call him unlikable. The character does what I think anyone would do if they swapped bodies with a millionaire, but I wouldn't say that he's easy to root for. In my opinion, however, the protagonist should have been Jeff. Keep Gabriel in the supporting role he's in, but make the shift in focal character less jarring, and have the rich dick go through the central Ebenezer Scrooge character arc instead of trying to juggle that and Arj's character arcs alongside Gabriel's, and I think this movie could have been improved significantly. As a director, I think that Ansari has an eye for composition. It's not revolutionary, but recent comedies have a habit of having stale cinematography, typically wide, ensemble shots, which are explained in full, but that might be a streaming thing, because comedies seem to have been banished to those regions as of late. So seeing a comedy with a visual style, using expressive lights and colour theory the way Good Fortune uses its greens and pinkish lighting, was a real treat, and gave the more emotional moments, or scenes which verge on being quote-unquote boring, an additional touch, making them more palatable to the eye. The movie risks falling into becoming a Hollywood lecture on class from some of the wealthiest comedians in the business right now. The social critique surrounding the gig economy and class inequality, for the most part, seems, this feels harsh to say, pandering. It takes a rather shallow look at class disparity in America. But it is mostly an escapist comedy about an angel, so I guess I can overlook some of the glaring thematic issues in favour of the comedic elements. In the end, I think Good Fortune is a solid enough light-hearted comedy to either watch in a theatre with a crowd or wait until it hits streaming, where you can share snacks and joke about it with friends. I'd more likely recommend the latter. It's a fun, breezy watch. Good Fortune. 3 stars. Well, that's all. Keep on watching movies and form your own opinions. See you in the next one.